歡迎收睇美國專訊。今集節目我哋係主要講食物。美國餐廳咧好少供應蝸牛㗎。有一個廚師咧就希望能夠改變呢一點，並且着手建立一個蝸牛農場。下邊係記者費多喺紐約嘅報導。
The snail farming came about just a realization that there was a gap in the market. I was a chef full-time back in 2013 and wanted to put snails on my menu. And so I started looking to see if I could find some snails for this dish, and all I could find were canned or frozen snails. All of it, canned and frozen, were both coming from Europe or Asia. We are the only USDA certified snail farm in the country. We got our approval from them in 2015, and we work closely with them on all the things that keep the local agriculture safe, because they are an invasive pest that could do a lot of damage to, the surrounding agriculture. Once we had the snails, it was a whole new process of figuring out how to raise them inside of a greenhouse. The flavor of the snails is affected depending on what you feed them, and for that reason we're very careful with what we're finishing them on, because we know it's going to become a prominent flavor profile in the finished product. So we're literally kind of the last 2 weeks of their life seasoning them from the inside out, but more often than not it's herbs that would be more palatable to a human interest. So things like basil, parsley, tarragon, mint. What I love about snail farming, I think, is seeing the entire process. Being full-time chef, I was only kind of catching the product at its end stage, the very end of it, where it was coming to me maybe from a farmer, and I was preparing it and sending it out to be eaten. With this, you're literally seeing life, being born. You're seeing these snails hatching and growing and getting bigger. You're taking care of them, you're making sure they're healthy and they're happy, and then you're creating a product, really quality, something you can, that I'm proud of, and then kind of passing it off along to the chef.
生蠔喺清潔海水方面起住重要嘅作用，並且喺華盛頓嘅餐廳好受歡迎添。下邊係記者基斯萊恩嘅報導。
總部位於馬里蘭州嘅 Orchard Point Oyster Company 創辦人之一巴登自稱係一名農民，雖然佢喺美國最大嘅河口切薩皮克灣嘅水中工作。
Farming oysters, by its very definition, it's an ag practice. It's considered aquaculture, which is considered agriculture. We're controlling the oyster the whole way throughout its life cycle, controlling the environment it's raised in.
I should switch with Trey, huh? The unit has got to be tough.
生蠔係活水過濾器，佢哋吸入污糟水，過濾雜質，然後將佢哋釋放返水域。
Oysters are filter feeders, which means that in order to eat, they suck in water from the environment. They bring that water in and they filter it over their gills. And it's a really important service that oysters provide, actually.
州政府喺確保食品安全方面亦發揮作用。
And then, the Department of Environment does monitoring of all our lease sites and all the shellfish areas in the bay, and they're making sure that, the water quality is good for human consumption.
呢啲生蠔係切薩皮克灣生蠔聯盟計劃嘅重要組成部分。呢個計劃目的係恢復當地水質。切薩皮克灣係大西洋嘅一個分流，伸延至維吉尼亞州同馬里蘭州。該組織係一個由80幾個團體組成嘅聯盟，佢哋希望喺2025年前向海灣增加總計100億隻生蠔，好似巴登呢一類嘅生蠔養殖戶係呢個計劃嘅重要組成部分。
We view our product as very sustainable and restorative. So it's sustainable in the fact that we can keep doing it because we're only taking out what we're putting in. But, the reality is we take out less than we plant.
巴登從海灣裏面撈出嚟嘅生蠔好特別。
Not all oysters are created equal, right? Oysters are one of those things where the terroir, if you will, or where they are raised, determines what their flavor profile is. Scott's oysters are unique in that they tend to have fuller cups than what you see. The benefit of having the oysters in the bay is that they're processing the water and helping to keep it clean.
呢個係項生意，但係對巴登嚟講，亦係一個幫助確保後代能夠享受切薩皮克灣生蠔嘅機會。
The more we can do to, educate folks as well as try to help make the change or turn the tide, so to speak, in terms of the degradation of water quality, the better off we're going to be, I think.
造成變化並且因此獲利，對巴登嚟講實在係兩全其美。記者萊恩馬里蘭州報導。
多謝收睇美國專訊，下次節目時間再見。